What's up? Welcome back to Nowstalgia. Dave here with a review of Killer Mike's 7th album, Sinners and Saints. This album is being put out under the name Michael and the Mighty Midnight Revival, which is Killer Mike's gospel choir group that he's worked with in the past. Songs for Sinners and Saints is being billed as the follow-up, the coda album to last year's Michael. Of course, that was the album where Killer Mike won 3 Grammys last year, including Best Rap Album, his first solo album since Run the Jewels came into being, of course. Lately, of course, Mike had released Run the Jewels 1 through 4. All 4, of course, critically acclaimed massive albums he made with LP. And now Mike has gone on this new run of solo music. And I would say Songs for Sinners and Saints is just more Killer Mike solo music in a good way. It definitely feels like the sequel to Michael, so it doesn't really stand alone or do anything that you didn't really hear him already kind of doing on Michael last year. But Songs for Sinners and Saints is still really great. 10 songs, 39 minutes, all of these go. I think interestingly enough was that some of these songs he has kind of brought in or remixed into from Michael, notably the song Slumber for Junkies. It's a 10-minute mismatch of sorts from the songs Slumber and Summer for Junkies off Michael. I was a bit surprised that it wasn't quite as gospel-y and church choir involved as the album was presented to be. There's still plenty of just standard Atlanta trap that of course we know Mike can do so well. It's great to hear Mike openly address the young haters he got at the Grammys last year on the song Still Talking That Shit, where Mike basically calls people out that didn't know who he was and wondered why he was winning Best Rap Album over Travis Scott. Pretty funny. The main takeaway though is that this is really of a piece with last year's album, and it isn't really a new era, new interstitial for Mike as a solo rapper. This is maybe the end note, the conclusion of what happened with Michael more than anything else. But it's still, I think, a more interesting body of work than just a bonus deluxe release. These are not cutting room floor songs. It's just kind of more of that story. Just we already had kind of come to know this story already off Michael, so that's why he doesn't come across as quite as fresh. I think the song Humble Me is quite strong. Mike openly addressing his unfortunate arrest at the Grammys last year, getting arrested, no charges pressed of course, but still getting arrested in the moment at a Grammys where he's winning 3 awards, and how that makes you feel and how that humbles you, as the title suggests. Strong song. The second song, Nobody Knows, with Anthony Hamilton, definitely giving you that preaching choir vibe. Nice drum tempo, love the keys. Exit 9, Scenic Route. I think this is, one of the best, just standard, Atlanta trap songs. Great feature from Blast on the chorus. Very catchy. He's just right at home, doing what he's doing these days. Blast is on fire, I would say. And then an awesome feature from Offset, of course, the Atlanta connection. Very obvious, but with just a light amount of auto-tune, I think Offset sounds great on here. And Offset, of course, due to some of his own personal tragedies, namely, of course, the passing of Takeoff a few years ago, kind of fits at home and makes sense lyrically on a Killer Mike album. He doesn't feel out of place. It's pretty great. I'd say Lord Prepare Me, which has a few features. That's probably the most overtly gospel-y song, in terms of the Mighty Midnight Revival. That's where it's most obvious, is on that song. And of course, I already mentioned Mike's performance on Still Talking That Shit. I think Key Glock sounds so good on that song. Key Glock on any kind of Southern production, he just levitates. His flow is just so good, so consistent, so strong. He sounds great, and he's also great at talking shit. And Project Pat as well. I love that song. So yeah, like I said, it's not an album that I think is special at all in that regard. I don't think this is going to win Best Rap Album necessarily, although I wouldn't be surprised if this got nominated the same way Nas continued to get nominated for the other King's Disease albums, the way he did after winning for the first King's Disease, right? So it's good in all regards. It's just not unique or special, because we kind of just got this already the first time around. And there's also no song on this that matches the greatness of Scientists and Engineers off Michael, for example. And again, this is not a huge surprise or huge shock. I think the fact that we got this album at all and that it's so connected to the previous album comes across as a welcome surprise, honestly. But let me know, what did you think of Killer Mike's latest album, Songs for Sinners and Saints? What was your favorite thing about it? And for more music reviews, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.